I spilled this earlier trying to do a TikTok transition. It didn't work. We're gonna do some latte makeup, i.e. monochromatic brown makeup. Because that's really all it is. You've seen it floating online. It looks bronzed and beautiful and sunny and glowy, but I'm gonna do it on fair skin because everyone that I see doing this trend has beautiful tan. They all have these warm bronzes and golds, and that's just not the most flattering on my skin tone. I'm fair, I have cooler undertones, and so we're gonna work with that today, and we're gonna do latte makeup for fair skin. I've already put on my primers and foundations. I did the NYX Marshmellow Primer and the Becca First Light Priming Filter. Then I went in with my holy grail, the Wet n Wild Photofocus Dewy Foundation. Because everyone has that super, super glowy base, I really wanted that like super glowy, juicy, dewy skin to start with. Let's get into the browns and the latte of it all. I'm gonna start off with a cream bronzer because that is the trend now. So we're gonna take the Rare Beauty cream bronzer. This is in the shade Bright Side. This is one of their newer colors, and I chose this shade because it's not super duper warm. It has a nice neutral undertone, and it isn't gonna make us pale girlies look orange. So I'm gonna take that directly onto this little buffing brush, and then I'm just gonna put it on, kind of on the cheekbones to mimic that sun hitting the skin look. And it is a little bit warm. It is a slightly warm color, but not actually orange. It's not going to clash with the more cooler undertones in my skin. See, and just that little bit added so much warmth and definition to the face. Because when you have really fair skin, if I built this product up to full pigment, it would be way too much and way too dark on my skin. Whereas if you have a deeper skin tone, you can apply more product because it's not going to look like as much of a contrast. And again, on the forehead to just where the sun would naturally hit and warm up the face. I'm gonna drag it up here because that's what I see everyone doing, is taking it from the crease of the eye up to the temple to create that illusion of a lift. Because I noticed that a lot of these looks tend to have that sort of lifted look to them. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of that on the brush, kind of pinch it, and then just warm up a bit of the nose. Just so that the center of the face isn't completely blank and looking different from the rest of the face. And I always connect the bronzer on my nose into my eye look, so it just connects everything together. And then if you put too much like I did, just take the rest left over of your foundation brush, and just with any extra foundation that's on it, just stamp it over top to tone that down, because I did put too much. And I just realized I forgot to put concealer on, so I'm gonna do that and then I'll come back for the rest. Okay, now concealer's on. Now we're gonna set the face. Just gonna take any sort of pressed powder, one that's not too matte though. So I'm using this Lift and Illuminate powder from number 7 because it sets the makeup but still has a really nice skin-like finish and doesn't look like there's powder mattifying and caked up on the face. And then just to make sure we keep that really bronzy look on the face, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of powder bronzer just to set the bronzer that we already have and make it pop just a little. Just a very light hand going over where we already placed the bronzer. And if at any point you're ever feeling like it's too much, just take your powder brush, just swirl it over top and just buff everything out. Make sure everything is smooth and blended. So we have that really nice, subtle warmth to the skin without it being too much. And now for the eyes, I'm gonna take that exact same powder bronzer that we just used and the same brush, just a little bit, and just sweep that over the whole eyelid so that everything blends together really nicely. Just big fluffy brush, the whole eyelid. And to really using your bronzer in your eyes, on your eyes, is really gonna bring together the whole look and really help with that monochromatic vibe that we're trying to go for. And then on a flat brush, I'm just gonna go into, this is the Colourpop Wild Nothing palette, but just a dark, dark brown, just on a flat brush. I'm just gonna hug that right on the lash line. On the outer half. You can bring it all the way in if you want. To do kind of like a brown eyeliner. Just as close to the lash line as you can get it, and it does not have to be perfect. Then we're also going to take that on the bottom. That really nice dark brown. And then we're going to blend that out just with some of our face powder. Not adding more bronzer or a lighter brown. Just trying to keep this dark brown. Just slap on some browns. All right, I'm gonna go put on some mascara and then I'll be back for the lips. Okay, we're back. And everyone that does this look has this super glowy, almost golden skin. So I am going to take a little bit of Champagne Pop, just a bit, because it can be a little dark for me sometimes, but it is gonna help add that sort of golden glow, especially if we put it over top where we already have that bronzer. It's just gonna melt into it. Tip of the nose, inner corner, and the brow bone. All right, and then last but not least is the lips. Everyone has a sort of warm brown, but also pretty bare lip. So I'm gonna take this Huda Beauty Lip Contour 2.0 in warm brown and just very ever so lightly go around the sides of my lips just to help give them some shape. And then blend that out with my finger. So nothing looked harsh, but there is some like built-in structure to the lips. And then I'm just gonna use the Covey Seal the Deal lip balm to give that clear, bare, but juicy lip. So there is latte makeup for fair skin. I think the biggest tip is not to go too warm and not to go too much. If you keep it more on the neutral side, it's still gonna bring warmth to the skin, and using lighter tones is going to still give that warm, bronzy, cohesive look to the skin. I hope this helped some of my pale girlies out there. And if you want to stick around, like, subscribe, hang out, let's do makeup together. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.